Hello, I'm Sonya Brown, and it's June 9th, 2020, and I'll be speaking about the topic on how to transform children welfare, taking race out of the equation. This TED Talk was by Jessica Price. She's a social worker with the Department of Children and Family. She helps children to be in a more safer environment. If the parents or the guardianship can't provide a safe place for the children, then she will have to make the choice to remove them. She started off by setting up a visual of what she walked into when she goes into someone's home to determine if the children or child are safe or not. Her scenario was she goes in the home. The place is really not that clean. As she entered in, maybe the living room, instantly she looks on the floor and she sees the children laying on the floor on a mat. And about maybe 3 feet away from them is a big rat trap. She see a little table, like a fan going. So it tells you they don't have maybe like AC running available. So as she goes in, because she has to inspect the whole house. So as she entered in and she passed by, she see the kids. She go on to the kitchen. Very little food in the house, she can tell, because of, dishes are dirty in the sink. Just a not so pretty good place that you would go and have dinner. So then she goes on and she goes in, I guess, the mom's bedroom, and another mat on the floor where she sees the mother and her child, infant child, laying down on the floor. Again, maybe 3-4 feet away, big rat traps. So her vision was, her visual was that she walked through, and when she go to the home, she determined if the child is safe or not. So she have to look through the entire home, basically, to determine, okay, if the child or children are safe or not. So now she's walked the entire home, and now she has to do two things. She can determine if the children are deemed to be removed from the home, or she can allow DCF, which is the Department of Children and Family, can provide help or support to this family. I wonder if you were the person going into the home, what would guide your decision on what's best for the children? Painting your own scenario of what would guide you on that. So, without race or ethnicity would be a factor in the situation. The University of Pennsylvania study shows if the family was Caucasian, the children would have been allowed to stay with their families and also get the support they need. Most likely, the case would be closed for them. On the other hand, 40% of black families would have lost their children and also be stuck in the foster care system. And the study also showed that it's harder to find foster care for African American children, than a Caucasian. With research that Jessica Price and her team did was a different way to go about removing the children out of the home. One way was when the social worker goes into the home, they can make a decision. They couldn't make a decision right away. Based on what they have seen, they wouldn't have come. They would have had to come back and do a report without race or where the person lived. This is called the blind removal. So the blind removal, this study they came up with, Jessica Price and her team came up with, was the blind removal. And they would have to assess the home, write everything down, come back to work, and present their reports to a board. So they presented their reports to the board, but it would have been without race, ethnicity, where they live. They would have like background on the mom. Maybe she was in the foster system, maybe she was in the system, maybe she wasn't. Maybe she's falling on hard times. But it wouldn't have anything to do with where she lived or where the guardianship lived or race. They would take all that out. They present their case to the board, and then they would decide if the child would be removed outside of the home. Before they started the research, about 55% of blacks being removed from the home. Now with the blind removal, it's down by 20%. In the words of Jessica Price, let's work together to build a system that want to make families stronger instead of pulling them apart. Thanks for listening. I'm Sonya Brown. Have a good day.